Hey ladies, thank you for tuning in today to High Heels and Destiny. My name is Naranda. Today's topic is he's the best you're gonna ever have. So I got this topic because we all have been in a relationship, or maybe we know someone that have been in a relationship where we know that the relationship was very, very unhealthy. But mentally, we tell ourselves like, no, it's not that bad. He's really a great guy. I promise. Like, he's just only like this. Sometimes he's not like this all the time. An unhealthy relationship can consist of some things like mentally, emotionally, or physically abuse. Um, those are some things. Also, maybe even being in a relationship with someone that's very, very controlling. Me myself, I was in a relationship which was probably it was a long time ago. I think it was probably in my early 20s. And I was in a relationship with a guy, and he was very, 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 very controlling. And it was to the point where, if I went somewhere with my friends, there was a problem. It was always an issue if I went somewhere with my friends. And when I got ready to leave, he would say, well, you should have told me, if you was going to go somewhere, because if you'd have told me, I wouldn't be this mad. So I'm like, okay, I understand that. So when the time come around again, I would be like, well, hey, me and my friends, we're going to have girls night out. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. And when I would tell him ahead of time, the next thing he would say would be, well, I had plans for me and you. Now, remind you not, he ain't had no plans for us, girl. He did not have any plans for me. Okay, the only reason he had plans and he made himself feel like he had plans was because I wanted to do something. Okay, and it was to the place that it was so ridiculous where, if I went somewhere or we went somewhere, I'm sorry, if we went somewhere and we was out in public, and you may have like people you may work with, or either school friends or something you went to school with, and you see them and you're like, hey, if you spoke to someone, it was a issue. He was very insecure within himself. And I got to a really dark place in my life, and I felt like I had to almost walk around with my head down, because if I spoke to someone, it was a problem. If I smiled at someone, it was a problem. And me, with my personality, I have a really big personality, and I'm always happy. I'm always smiling. I'm always speaking to people, and everything about me had to change because it was the issue. If we went somewhere and I spoke to someone that, especially that was a guy, not a female, but if I spoke to someone that was a guy, it was an issue. It was a problem. He felt like, well, how do you know this guy? And why are you speaking to him? And it always had to be an explanation behind everything. And when I went somewhere with my friends, and he would be like, well, yeah, I saw someone there, they was watching you, and he would just make up all type of lies and stuff like that to try to catch me doing something, which I wasn't doing anything, but he was very insecure within himself. And I got to a really dark place, and I was like, you know what, I think I can honestly say like that was one of the most miserable times of my life, because it was just like I was dark. He started to isolate me from my family. Um, if I went around to my family house, maybe he would be driving by, or either like, he'll be calling me. It was like we had to be together 24 hours. We together all the time we together. I wasn't having any life outside of him. Basically, all my time consists of being with him all the time or whatever. So the devil started to tell me like, girl, like it already ain't no mean out here. Like, it's really not that bad. Like, he's the best you're gonna get. And I started to tell myself like, this don't feel right. And the devil just kept telling me like, this the best you're gonna get. Hey, somebody else would love to have him. It's not anybody else out here, and he can do this and he can do that, even though he do this, that. And I wouldn't allow the devil to put those thoughts in my head, because if I would have continued to allow the devil to put those thoughts in my head or whatever, I would continue to be in a relationship, and I may be alive right now. I could have been dead right about now. I don't even know, but I just know that I could have been in a unhealthy relationship, and I don't know where my life will be at right now. But all glory to God that God allowed me to exit that relationship without, any any pain, any damages, anything or whatever. So don't allow the devil to tell you that if you're in an unhealthy relationship, like this the best it's gonna get. He's the best. He love you, because if he didn't love you, he wouldn't do this. When you have a guy and he's very controlling, and he have a problem. If you want to go somewhere, if you want to do something, he wants you around him 24 hours. And that's how he was. Like, I had got to the place that I was so miserable, because I just felt like, oh my God, like I just wanted to breathe. I just wanted to get away from him. And it was just like, he was always there, always there. Like, I don't never be happy about going to work. But when I tell you, honey, I was happy to go to work. Like, I was there, I know, an hour ahead of time. Like, I just want to get to work. So that was my only time just to breathe or whatever. And, I just thank God that I was able to get out that relationship, because it was very, very unhealthy for me. And when I did leave that relationship, it did a lot of mentally and emotionally abuse to me. It really messed me up for a while, and I just looked at men completely different. And it was my first time, and it would definitely be my last time that I would ever experience anything like that. So ladies, don't allow the devil to tell you that this the best you're going to get, because God have great things in store for you. He have a guy that's going to love you unconditional. He have a guy that's going to allow you to be yourself. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you feel like, well, I can't do this and I can't do that, and if it's something that, if it's changes that you have to make that makes you feel uncomfortable and you feel like you can't be yourself, those are not good changes. Now, don't get me wrong. We are in relationships, and there are going to be some things that we may have to adjust and change. But if it comes to a place and you feel like it makes you feel down and it makes you feel sad about that change or whatever it may be, and less than what you really are, then maybe that's something that can be unhealthy in a relationship. So be mindful when you're in a relationship that the devil don't feed you a whole bunch of silliness. Okay, like I said once before, don't allow the devil to serve you out of brown paper bag. Okay, because if you allow him to serve you out of brown paper bag, you'll be eating out of brown paper bag forever. You deserve so much more. Don't continue to allow yourself to go through relationships or to continue to repeat cycles that put you in the same situation that you just got out of. Okay, so just be mindful that regardless of whatever the devil tell you, that God have great things in store for you. And like I said, when I was going through a relationship, the devil was telling me, like, girl, you better stay. I'm telling you, it's already hard to get a man, and everybody else out here single. At least you got somebody. You better get your act together. And I was kept telling myself, like, I don't know about that. Like, this don't feel right. And then I kept in the back of my mind, like, this don't feel right. And then I got some might in me, and I was like, oh, this don't feel right. Like, no, I am not gonna allow you to trick me. Like, that was a trick of the enemy. Like, I'm not gonna allow you to trick me to be up in this relationship and be unhappy and miserable. Like, no. And I rebuked that, and I got myself up and I got out of it. Okay, so ladies, just know that God have great things in store for you. He have a man that will love you unconditional. He have a man that will treat you right. He have a godly man for you. So don't settle. Don't get into a relationship just because you see your friends in a relationship, or you see people on Facebook posting pictures or Instagram posting pictures, so you feel like, hey, you want to be a part of that trend. And trust me, it's just a trend, because everything is not what it always appear to be. Okay. If you can, like I said once before, if you can't be real to yourself, you can't be real to nobody else. Okay, so be real with yourself. And if you're in a relationship and you know that it's unhealthy, I can't tell you the necessary steps to take to get out that relationship, because every relationship is completely different. But continue to pray and ask God to show you and lead you, because at the end of the day, God wants you to be happy. He wants you to be able to enjoy life and just be in a place of peace. And if you don't have anything else, even if you don't have $1 in your pocket, or you just in a certain space in your life, just know that if you got your peace, you got your joy, those two things can take you a long way, ladies. Okay, so like I said once before, don't allow the devil to serve you out a brown paper bag, because you are worth a lot more. Okay, ladies, you ladies have a good night, and just take some time and just think about it. And if you have a friend or somebody you may know, just pray for them, and just know that God have your best intentions in store. Okay? Bye-bye.